Let's take a further look at this tragic incident in Anambra State. And I'm being joined by security consultant Dr. Ona Ekomu. He joins us via Skype. Dr. Ekomu, thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10. Sad day it's been for Anambra and also for the rest of Nigerians. No one expected this, on a Sunday morning. It's been a long time we heard about attacks in churches and so on. How would you describe what has just happened?
Thank you, Arachi. And I feel very saddened also by what has happened. I think it's despicable. I think it's a senseless act of mass murder that took place there this morning. I think this just goes to show the, how bad things have gotten more recently, because for someone or some persons to go out there, well, the priests in the church described that it was one person, one perpetrator, who came in there with a weapon and was shooting at people. So for someone to go in there and commit such mass murder means that we have almost lost the entire conscience, but let's get to the security part of it. I think there is a need for the police agencies to step up immediately and, take action that will lead to a quick capture, that's quick arrest of the shooter himself, and then also the people behind it, the feuding parties, whoever those people are, and ensure that those people are brought to book quickly. And the police, they have to run good policing detective work in this particular case, because there's a lot of interest in it. The president has spoken up. In fact, the entire political leadership has spoken up. And in fact, it's a very sad episode. And it also speaks to the fact of the need to continue to maintain security in places of worship, because it was a 5:30 mass, they said, and the place was apparently very porous, because we've seen this, and let's not be too shocked. We've seen a lot of this before, particularly with the kidnap incidents. People used to go to churches, shoot a lot of people and kidnap people from churches, even in the East there also, I dare say. So we've seen it play out over and over before. But this, for some time now, we haven't had this. And this was an act of, it's what we call an active shooter incident. You go in there with a gun and shoot a lot of people, expecting to be killed. But in this case, it wasn't killed, he got away.
We cannot describe this as an act of terror. Going by the story the police is giving, that this was all linked to a drug war emanating from outside of the country. What do you make of people bringing these sorts of things into church?
I think that's it's a very low blow, a low circumstance, because you know that in churches people are a little bit lax about their security. People are not very alert about their security. That's why I said we need to look again at security in places of worship, because it brings that up again. Because we, at the height of this, the kidnapping epidemic we used to have in Nigeria, a lot of people were kidnapped from churches. And so, and they will go in there, there will be mass shooting, and there will be heavy shooting, and many mass casualty situation, and then they will seize whomever they like. We've seen a lot of assassinations in churches also, even here in Lagos. So I think, I don't want to, because I hear a lot of comments about it being sacrilegious, abominable. I think that's a lot of emotional outpouring. The fact here is bad guys, they choose the target, they choose the location, and they choose the weapon they are going to use. And so that's why we need to do better threat assessments to ensure that we don't fall victim to these kinds of attacks.
Dr. Ona Ekomu, thank you so much for joining us on the News at 10 tonight in discussing this horrific incident in Anambra State. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families and victims of those who have been affected, and of course those who are receiving treatment. We pray for their speedy recovery.